When you first see that result from the T20 World Cup, Zimbabwe beating Australia by 23 runs, you might think it's just a classic underdog upset.
Yeah, a bit of luck, maybe an off day for the Aussies.
Exactly. But digging into the reports, that's not the story at all. This wasn't luck. The sources are calling it a tactical masterclass.
They really are. And it was. If you just watch the game, you see Zimbabwe fundamentally understood the conditions in Colombo way better than one of the world's best teams.
It wasn't about who could hit the ball harder.
No, it was about who could read the pitch better.
So let's start there. This modern T20 game is all about, smashing it. Aim for 200 plus.
Right.
But Zimbabwe bats first and gets 169 for 2. In a vacuum, that feels a little light.
It does, but context is everything. That pitch was slow, it was sticky. The analysis suggests Zimbabwe knew early on that chasing, say, 190 was a phantom score.
A phantom score.
Yeah, if you aim for it, you'll just collapse trying to get there. So they targeted something defendable, a smart 160 to 170. It was all about calculated restraint.
And Brian Bennett's innings of 64 not out really personified that, didn't it? It felt like he just decided to anchor the whole thing.
He absolutely refused to give his wicket away for a cheap thrill. That stability then allowed Sikandar to come in at the end and provide that final push.
Build the platform first, then launch.
It sounds simple, but it takes massive discipline.
Okay. So they set this clever trap with the bat, but the bowling is where it really snaps shut. Blessing Musarbani, player of the match, 4 for 17.
What a spell.
The reports kept mentioning one specific tactic he used: hard lengths. For anyone listening, why was that so deadly on this specific pitch?
That's the key right there. On a slow Asian pitch, you're expecting spin to be the main weapon.
Right.
But hard lengths means Musarbani was using his height to just bang the ball into the pitch. It generates this steep, awkward bounce.
So it's jumping up at the batters into their body.
Exactly. It makes them uncomfortable. They can't get forward to drive, and they can't easily pull it. He completely unsettled them.
So he was bullying them with bounce when they were probably expecting spin.
He was. And you have to mention Brad Evans, too, who chipped in with 3 wickets. And the fielding was just on another level. They squeezed every single run.
Which brings us to the Australian collapse. 146, all out. But honestly, the game was over in the first few overs. 29 for 4. I mean, that's a complete disaster.
You just can't recover from that. And this is where that contrast in approach becomes so stark. The expert verdict is that Australia batted as if they were on a flat highway back home.
Just trying to brute force their way through it.
Yeah, all aggression, no tempo, no adaptation. They were trying to hit through the line on a tacky surface. It just doesn't work.
And Matt Renshaw's 65. It was the lone resistance, but he was completely stranded, wasn't he?
He was the only one who seemed to figure it out. But he had zero support. By the time he got going, the damage was already done.
So when the analysts handed out the report cards, they're pretty ruthless.
As they should be. Zimbabwe gets a 9 out of 10. Tactically brilliant. Australia gets a 5. All the talent in the world, but the application was woeful.
It's a huge turning point in that group, and just a reminder that the smartest brain can often beat the biggest bat.
For sure. And it leaves you with a really provocative thought to mull over.
Let's hear it.
We live in this era that is just obsessed with power hitting. Bat speed, exit velocity, all of it. But this match suggests that specific granular pitch awareness is still the ultimate currency.
So brains over brawn.
Exactly.
Okay.
So the question is, if small teams can consistently outthink the giants by playing the conditions better, are we about to see the gap at the top start to shrink? Not because the underdogs are getting stronger, but because they're simply getting smarter.